The concept of fairness is something that we innately understand and deeply care about as kids, but even adults have a hard time figuring out how to maintain it. It's part of our legal system. The sentence should match the crime, our traffic laws on how to merge onto the highway, and even how we order coffee, waiting in line for our turn. And most social justice movements are inspired by the lack of it, the belief that we need to level the playing field. But most of us still struggle with how we actually accomplish it on a societal level. Is it subjective? Is it realistically attainable? And should we be striving for equal opportunity or for equal outcome? Welcome to My Generation. Joining me today is Anthony, Miranda, and Trinity to discuss the fairness topic. So guys, what are some other examples of fairness that we assume in society that I didn't mention? Can we think of any?
I think when you have a race and everyone starts at the same place.
Starts at the same place. Is that fair?
Yeah.
I think for the race, yeah.
Everyone gets a fair chance to get to the finish line.
So how would you guys define fairness?
Equal opportunity.
Yeah. I think
Not equal outcome?
Never equal outcome.
Never?
It's always, equal opportunity. And I think it's a case-by-case basis on the end result of something.
Right. But how do we here's my challenge, because I figured you guys would say that. How do we measure equal opportunity? Like, it's a very hard line to draw on the sand.
I think it's dependent on the subject, because I've been asked this question before, so it's dependent on the subject. So what do you want to bring it to? Let's talk about funding for schools. Does every single school have the same funding? No. Are there at-risk poverty schools in inner cities versus better funded schools in suburbs? Yes, that does exist. That's not an equal playing field. I'd say that that's not fair, because that's not equal opportunity.
Do you guys feel, go ahead.
So I think that even if you look at, not everybody has the same starting point in life, so why would things be fair? Mm-hmm. Just like Anthony was saying, that goes down to human rights, ability to participate, access to the things that you need. Things are never going to be fair from the beginning.
Now, our definition of fairness, do you guys feel like it's very subjective, solely based on our experiences and what we think is fair in our head?
I think it tends to be subjective no matter what. If you want, we all try to be as objective as possible, but our bias naturally feeds into that no matter what.
Like, I just feel like, at the end of the day, you can't.
We were saying that I think it's based off of expectation.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. So do you guys think, in society today, do we try to fight for fairness to be objective, and should we?
I think we definitely do fight for it to be as objective as possible.
But if it just can't be, then why make a big deal about it? Why try to keep pushing for the topic of fairness?
That's more of a philosophical question, right? Mm-hmm. It goes back to the idea of social justice. More so beyond is it fair that they start in this race before me?
Anthony, what are your thoughts?
I think the subject matter is the most important thing. So what exactly we're talking about. So I brought up school funding,
right? Which
I think a lot of people would agree that it should be across the board fair and equal. Mm. So everybody has an equal opportunity to good public education. I don't think we've mentioned socioeconomic status, what you're born into. There's people who are born into perpetual poverty. There's people who are born into wealth. There are some people who think that that's not fair, or whether or not it's fair. It's all going to boil down to your experiences in life, and that'll play a big part in that.
So does everyone have to be happy in order for things to be fair? It seems like that's not the case.
There's always going to be somebody unhappy.
Right.
There's no such thing as fair. No matter how fair you make something, there will always be one person unhappy about the outcome.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree.
So do you think, my question is, why do we get such a visceral reaction to things being unfair to us when life just isn't fair? Why do we get this
That's the same thing as saying, why do people have a poor reaction to pain? When you don't get what you want, it's a painful response, right?
Right, but if life isn't fair, it should be something that we're just accustomed to.
Well, that's
we should say, it's just not fair. Life isn't fair. It is what it is.
That's the same thing you could say. It's people's ability to cope, right? It ranges. It's all different.
Mm-hmm. Not everybody is surprised by life being unfair.
Do you think it's something that we're born with, or something that we just kind of, is it innate, or is it something that we get raised to believe based on what's around us, our influences?
I think it's partially innate that we desire things to be fair.
All your life experience.
And that's why we have such a visceral reaction to it. Yeah. Is that innate?
I think that's part of the reason. Obviously, people have different ranges of how extreme that is.
Life experience.
Yeah.
Your experiences in life will dictate that.
Do you think influences play a significant role in it? Influences play a significant role in us considering what is fair or not?
I think that, again, that goes back to life experience. I was recently talking to a friend who's in psychotherapy, and she mentioned to me that generally the only difference between her and the person on the other side of the table
Miranda, I'm going to follow up with you in the next segment. Give me one sec. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be right back. The age-old question, is life fair?
I'ma rule the world, yeah, yeah.